Hey y'all, welcome back to City Skylines, and this is Cliffside Bay, the city of unlocks. There we go. So this is a little, I guess, this is not really an episode. This is an update of what's going on with my kind of challenge. It's turning out to be something quite a lot bigger than what I initially intended it to be. I thought it was going to be kind of a super fast kind of unlock challenge with unlocking all these milestones and unique buildings, as you can see here. And it's not simple as that. It's become very hard and tricky, I guess. So it's a little bit of a kind of an update of what's going on with my, I guess what I intended to be a quick challenge is now, I do believe it's turning into a bit of a let's play. So it's still got the same elements. I'm still going to try and do it as fast as possible, which is why you can see here the city is not looking pretty, and it's not intended to be pretty. It's just supposed to be functional, I guess, that kind of thing. So yeah, so just to get the job done as best as I can, as quick as I can. And while I'm doing that, I'm kind of learning the mechanics, the game mechanics. Now, this is only my second ever city, so yeah, maybe I'm jumping in a bit too soon, but that kind of thing. But yeah, this is my challenge. So yeah, so for those who don't know, the City of Unlocks is a kind of a challenge I've set for myself. It was to use only the vanilla game. As you can see right here, I've only got a couple of things here. I've got all the extra special things that people have got. So only using the vanilla game, and no mods. The only mods I got are visual ones to make it look kind of pretty, as you can see with the clouds and all that. There you go, and maybe the LUTs. Well, I call them LUTs, so I don't know what you guys call them. Shaders, that kind of thing. So yeah, so I'm only using things to make it look pretty, and kind of a camera mod, so you can like save load, like a little battery pack. You can see I used it for the Mini Manhattan. Cliffside Bay is one. Let's load this up. Let's play that. There you go. So I've only got like a few little mods for cameras and all that kind of thing. Press C to come out of here. So that's the only mods I got. Yeah, it's a lot more tricky than I thought it ever was going to be, especially with the lack of money. And you can see this is how much money we got right now, and the lack of mods. And if you look at here, come out of here, look how small the land is I've got to build on. I'm only using 9 tiles because that is what the vanilla player from the beginning of the game, the very beginning, before they had all the DLC, this is all they had was 9 tiles. Now I do believe with the update, the upgrade, the people now get 25 tiles, I believe. And as a PC player, I still don't have 25 tiles. I'm still only on 9 tiles because I don't use any mods. There you go. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. So my unlock challenge was to reach all the milestones, which are these things here. There you go. And unlock all the unique buildings in as fastest time as possible. And like I just said, it is impossible to do that. It's you've noticed if you watched the earlier episodes how tricky it's been, especially with me fighting with the garbage and water pollution. As you can kind of see that looming there with that kind of weird coloration there. There you go. So yeah, so what I've decided to do is come up with a kind of a battle plan of how I'm going to do this, because I do believe this Let's Play, which is turning into, deserves or requires a bit of a battle plan. So yeah, so my battle plan is, maybe part 1 is to reach all the 13 separate milestones. So let's have a look at them. Cliffside Bay, the Unlock Challenge, has 13 milestones individually. So that is, let's go right to the start. So they consist of Little Hamlet, population 400. Worthy Village, population 800. Tiny Town, population 1300. Boomtown, population 2200. Busy Town, population 4200. Big Town, population 6500. Small City, population 8500. Big City, 14,000. Grand City, 17,000. Capital City, 28,000. Colossal City, 36,000. Metropolis, 55,000. Megalopolis, 65,000. And that's it. There we go. And that's where we eventually get to monuments. So that's another can of worms and I'm not going to open. So there you go. So of all them, we have got up to small city, which is population 8,500. There you go. And we are working towards, and we have nearly achieved that, big city, which is a population of 14,000. There you go. So I guess what you could say that is maybe part one of what we're going to call maybe my game plan, my plan of attack, I don't know, my battle map kind of thing. I don't know, whatever you want to call that. So yeah, that's kind of plan one, is to reach all those milestones. And, you know, that was always my plan. And we've reached a few of them, so I'm kind of pleased with that. And then I guess part two was always going to be the unlocking of the unique buildings and landmarks, that kind of thing. So yeah, I guess part two of my kind of new implemented plan is to unlock all the uniques and landmarks, and as continuing with the original plan is to do it in as fast as time as possible. Now, as you might not be aware, in its current state, the vanilla game consists of 39 uniques and landmarks, and that's not included the 4, which you will find just about here. There you go. Yeah, so it does not include the 4 that is added by the treasure hunt. So that would be a total of 43 just alone for the base game. And that is just huge. That is just huge. So yeah, I wasn't kidding when I said it was going to be a tough challenge for somebody who's only attempting their second ever city. Now, as you can see, I am no City Skylines expert. To be an expert, City Skylines player that is, you need to be an expert at the game's mechanics. And I guess that is the key to achieving this challenge, is to know the game's mechanics. Unfortunately, all my expertise comes with my kind of schooling and my job, so I am of the arts. So that is film, directing, animation, design, music, dance, acting, sound, lighting. Basically, I'm of the arts, the whole arts. So yeah, that's my expertise. So yeah, I gotta tell you, being awesome at making a city looking pretty and singing about it just ain't gonna cut it. So I guess I'm going to have to come up with a plan, a battle plan on how to achieve this. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to tap into the game's mechanics somehow. So let's draw it up. Here's my plan. I'm going to meticulously go through each one of these landmarks and uniques. I'm going to try and put them in a kind of order of difficulty, that kind of thing. You know, which ones I can achieve, which are more obtainable, and which ones are going to be super difficult. And I'm going to draw up a little list, and I'm going to try and stick to that kind of list, only going for those in that kind of certain order. So yeah, so what I'll do is let's go through which ones I need to unlock and place them in some sort of semblance of an order, that kind of thing. So let's start off with the Chirp X launch site. So yeah, that's a requirement of a population of 36,000. So this might be pretty difficult, so I'm going to stick that right down there. Next on the list, we have the Amsterdam Palace. That's construct 600 city service buildings. Now that could be hard. I'm not too sure about that one. I guess if I got the money, I can do that a lot easier. So I think I might stick this one kind of here, because I do believe this one's more obtainable. I guess it's more obtainable if you got the money. Straight away you can get it off the bat. So that's that one. Next on the list is the Cathedral, and there we go. That is 2,000 abandoned buildings in the city, and maintain that for 4 weeks. So that one is kind of interesting. I think as long as you got a big enough population and enough money, you can probably achieve that. So I'm going to put that kind of high up on the list. Well, the top of the list. When I say high up on the list, I mean at the top of the list, which is the top of the list are the easiest ones, and running down to the bottom, which are the hardest ones. So I'm definitely going to put that one up there. Next on the list, we got the cinema. Now that is 4,000 tourists in the city. Now, I'm not too sure about this one. This could be a difficult one because it involves having lots of transportation, and I've only got buses so far, as you can see here. So yeah, I'm currently running 358 passengers weekly, so we definitely got to up that. I guess that will come with me implementing more transportation and more passengers. And if you look on the transportation, all we got right now is buses. Got metro, which I've not put in there, and we got trains, which I've not put in there. We haven't got ships or airplanes. So there you go. So that kind of puts a little spanner in the works for that. Carry on the Gherkin, construct 2 instances of harbor and cargo harbor. And as you can see, we haven't unlocked that yet. To unlock that, we got to get to capital city. So that's to reach a population of 28,000, and then you can construct the harbor and the cargo harbor. So I do believe it's going to be a lot more harder, but I think I am going to put this just below the cinema. I think it's going to be a little bit harder than the cinema. So moving on, what else we got? Hypermarket, that's an interesting one. So that's 5,000 squares of commercial zone build. I believe this one might be kind of achievable, kind of easier, because we managed to get it done when I had to build. It was at 10,000 squares. I can't remember how many, but it was 10,000 squares, or maybe 1,000 squares of kind of, if you look on here, residential, that kind of thing. I think that's 10,000 squares of residential. I'm not too sure. So I do believe this one might be an easy one. With that being the case, I think I'm going to put that right below the cathedral, I guess. Yeah, I'm thinking putting it below the cathedral. Next one is the London Eye, and that's construct 2 instances of airport. Now this is going to be super hard, and I mean this is a real tough one because we got to get a population of 55,000, which is Metropolis, I believe. So yeah, I'm going to put that right down the bottom. I think for now it's going to be absolutely difficult to do this one, so I'm putting it right down the bottom somewhere, maybe about here. Next one on the list is the shopping center. Now I believe this one might be kind of easier, even though I got to build 30,000 squares of residential zones, but I think it might be more obtainable because I don't know, it will, if I can build up the population and get that 30,000, that will lead me to going a little ways into unlocking kind of other unique buildings. So, you know, like getting like lots of toys in the city needs a bigger population. So I believe that one's going to be kind of easier. So I'm going to put that higher up on the list. Next on the list is the theater, and we have got to fill 5 instances of cemetery, and I haven't even filled my first one yet. So that's going to require maybe a huge population, a lot of lives being lived in the city. So I don't know about this one. I don't know where to put this one. I might put this in the kind of the difficult section, maybe before the cinema. So I'm going to put that just about there, I think. Next on the list is the sports arena. Now that one is going to be kind of interesting. So that is weekly education expenses of 30,000 and maintain that for 3 weeks. So I believe, that one's going to be kind of a mid-tier kind of landmark, I guess. I'm going to place that somewhere after kind of in the ballpark of when you've done all the negative kind of achievements that you need to do, like abandoning the city or low employment. I believe that one's going to come in kind of just after there when you started building the city back up. So yeah, and I guess with that in mind, I'll be putting all the kind of the educational kind of uniques kind of together. So I'm going to put the sports arena just kind of here. Arc de Triomphe, yeah, I'm going to place that kind of similar vein as the sports arena. But because you got to have 7,500 children in elementary schools, and we've only got 597 so far, I think that might take a long time. So I'm going to put that kind of down lower at the bottom of the list. But it might be one of the hardest ones, but I'm definitely going to put that maybe below the Chirp X. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put it below there. Brandenburg Gate, that is 10,000 lifespans lived in the city. Now that is, I believe that's going to be probably the toughest one to do. It depends on how quickly we get people living their whole lives in the city. So just for now, I'm going to put that right at the bottom of the list. Eiffel Tower, 30,000 squares of industrial zone to be built. That is kind of difficult, I think. I'm going to put that, yeah, definitely a difficult one, but I'm going to put that maybe higher up than the London Eye. I believe it's going to be easier than getting the 2 airports. There you go. So that's what my belief behind that is. And finally, Grand Central Terminal. Now I believe this is going to be pretty difficult as well. I'm relying on a lot of people dying, and unless I kind of cheese it and destroy my city, which I could do that. I do have a plan for that. So maybe that could be obtainable, but I'm not too sure. So for now, I'm going to put that right below the London Eye and maybe above City Hall. So that's what we're going to do with that. So there you go. Yeah, that's going to be absolutely a toughie. Let me go back to that City Hall again. I was just thinking about that one. Where is City Hall? There it is. So yeah, this what makes this so tough is I got to get public transportation, 3,000 weekly passengers. And I'm currently on 358, so that's out of the 3,000. So what would that be? The math on that would be, I don't know, 3,000 is 3,000. I would divide that by 358, maybe weekly passengers. So I think that is probably 8.5 times that would fit in there. So 8.5 times 358 would go into 3,000, I believe. I'm not too sure on the math. I better get a calculator out sometime. And 8.5, if I times that by maybe 12,571, that would give me a kind of a so 106,853, I believe. So for me to achieve 3,000 weekly passengers, I'd have to have a population of 106,853. That's what I believe if I ran on the same parameters I'm using for the city hall. So yeah, I'd need to get a population of 106,853. But as we're going to be using lots of maybe cheesing mechanics and different transportation methods, it won't come to that. So I do believe I might be able to squeeze the City Hall one up on the ease of difficulty. So that might be going up the list. I think I could make that a lot easier, but for now we'll leave it as it is. Right, so now let's go into the level 1 unique buildings. Now that's going to absolutely obliterate my little kind of list. We're going to add all these on there. So it's going to be increasingly longer, and it's going to be more difficult for me to try placing where I want to put them. So let's start off with the Plaza of the Dead. So that's Phil 3 Instances Cemetery. Now that is absolutely easy to do if you've got all the money in the world and a cheat, and you can put them all down, and that's unlocked. But for vanilla play, I think it's going to be kind of hard. I do believe that's going to be real hard. So I'm going to put that I don't know. I think I might put that, because of what it is, I think I might put that let's put it above the Chirpex launch site. Yeah, I think that's what we do with that one. The Statue of Industry, that's an interesting one. So that is 10,000 squares of industrial zone. I think this one's going to be harder because it's kind of more difficult to toy around with the industry, because getting people to move into jobs and getting the businesses to stay put, I guess. So it's definitely a more tricky one, I think. I think I'll put this one kind of the same, just below the Amsterdam Palace, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to put it just there. Statue of Wealth, have 500,000 money. I do believe this one is going to be easy. Probably more difficult than it is, but I think from the initial get-go, you could just probably make a lot of money. So just for now, I'm going to put the Statue of Wealth below the shopping center in difficulty. There we go. I'm going to put it there. So that's our level 1s. Level 2s, let's see what we got. We got the Transportation Tower, which is public transport, has 1,000 weekly passengers. Now this one's a lot easier than the 3,000, so I think we're going to put that one just below the sports arena. Now I'm not too sure what the population would be before we unlock that, so I'm going to go for maybe, I don't know, maybe if we got up to Grand City, which is 17,000, maybe we'll have 1,000 weekly passengers by then. So yeah, that's what I'm banking on, so we're going to put that just there. So that's all the level 2s. I didn't realize I'd done all the level 2s. So we hit the level 3s. That's going to be, I guess this is where they start becoming trickier, I think. So the Grand Mall, construct an airport. Now, this is absolutely tricky because I've got to reach a population of Metropolis, which is 55,000, I believe. So yeah, I'm going to put that right at the bottom. I'm going to put that maybe above London Eye. Looks like it should go there. Next on the list is the tax office. I think that's going to be the easiest one to unlock. And you can see we already started on that. So electricity production of 1,000 milliwatts. So all I got to do is place down some power plants and construct the water treatment plant. Have I got that unlocked? Not yet, but we are nearly there. So when I get to my next milestone, which is big city, we can unlock that. So yeah, there. So that's why I'm putting that right at the top of the list. Next, we have the Colossal Order offices. I'm going to say that's maybe a mid-tier. So, yeah, weekly expenses are 20,000 and maintain that for 10 weeks. So I'm kind of putting that with all the educational kind of goals we have to reach. So, yeah, I'm saying this is maybe mid-tier. Definitely going to put this above the sports arena, which was the 30,000 expenses on education. So that kind of ties in with that. So I'm going to put that there. Next on the list is the official park. And that is 10,000 squares of office zone built. Now this one might be an easy one. I think this could be easy because it's office zone, but because it's job related, that might make it more tricky. I don't know. I think I might say this is an easy one. So I'm going to put this between the hypermarket and the shopping center. There we go. So I'm going to put that right there. Level 4 buildings. Now let's see. The oppression office. Now this one I think is going to be easy. Unemployment rate of 50. Maintain it for 5 weeks. Now I'm saying this is easy because it's a percentage one. With percentage ones, they're kind of easier if you do them on a kind of smaller population because it's a lot easier to get there. Let's just put it that way. Trust me, it is a lot easier. So I'm going to put that right at the top of the list of ease. So yeah, I'm hopefully going to go for this one just because my population's small. So I'm going to, I don't know, I could make this maybe the third or fourth kind of one I want to try and achieve. So yeah, I'm going to put that right at the top. The observatory, I think this is even easier. 1,000 abandoned buildings. So that's going to tie in pretty nicely with the other one, which is the cathedral, which is 2,000 abandoned buildings. We've got to maintain that for 5 weeks. So with that in mind, I'm going to put that right at the top. So, well, not completely at the top. I'm going to put that maybe just below the tax office. Right, business park. Now that is construct 20,000 squares of commercial zone. Now that might be a lot harder because you got to meet the demand for commercial, and I don't think we're there yet. I think one of the ways of doing that is not to build lots of high density, just to build loads of low density, because that means they're still demanding. So I don't know. I think that might be kind of low to mid tier. I think I might put that below the shopping center, which is demand for 30,000 residents. I think 30,000 residents is a lot easier than 20,000 squares commercial zones. So yeah, I'm going to put that there. Grand Library. Construct 7 instances of university and maintain that for 10 weeks. So I'm definitely going to put that in the kind of ballpark where I'm putting all my educational landmarks. So I think, yeah, that would fit in really well there. So where would I put that? I would put that, I don't know. So there we go. So that's the Grand Library. So let's move on to our level 5s. Oh, here we go. We got the Expo Center. Now that is 2,000 tourists to visit the city. So that's just 2,000 tourists across the bat. So I think that's going to be kind of easy. But yeah, I guess we've started it off. I put in my very first, right here, I put in my very first landmark with that in mind, which is the Statue of Shopping, which we haven't got hooked in yet. So I'm going to have to hook that in. So here we go. So that's why we're working towards that milestone. So that is why we've already got 904 visitors. So that's a kind of an easy one. But yeah, I'm definitely going to put that maybe below the business park. Next, we have the aquarium. And yet again, that's an education one. So that is 5,000 children in elementary school. So I'm definitely going to put that right below the Statue of Wealth. I think that'll fit in just there, I think. Next on the list is the Science Center. That is 5,000 full lifespans lived in the city. We've only currently got 40, and that's after 4 episodes. So, yeah, I think this is going to be a toughie, definitely a toughie. Yeah, I think I might put that below the Arc de Triomphe, which is 7,500 children, I believe. So we're going to put that just there. So where are we? So yeah, servicing services offices. That is quite a mouthful. So that's 300 city service buildings. Now that one I could probably put in right at the top of the list. But now, yeah, for now I'm just going to put that kind of mid-tier, but that might move up the list depending on if I make enough money, you know, above that 500,000. Then I'm going to put that below the transport tower. But yeah, there we go with that. So let's get back on here. Where were we? So there we go. Next is the academic library. Now this is, ooh. So yeah, this one here is got a bit of an anomaly because construct 5 instances of the creator's library. Now that is in this actual list here. So yeah, this is part of the treasure hunts. Yeah, there you go. So I got to construct a bunch of them. So I think that's a new achievement to the goals you got to make because yeah, that is not a part of the original vanilla game. So that's a little tweak they put on there. So it probably would have been a lot easier. But now you got that little thing to put in there. So yeah, that is one that could do with a little tweaking. Maybe it might be easy, it might be difficult. I don't know. I'm thinking of putting that. Well, if I get the Statue of Wealth, and that's 500,000 money, then I could start building these straight away, I think. So yeah, I think this one might be an easy one. So I think we're gonna pop that one. Well, I already said it, didn't I? I'm gonna put that right below the Statue of Wealth. That one fits in really well. And our last level buildings, the level 6 is, we got the Sea and Skyscraper. Now that is, that's going to be a difficult one because you got to construct one instance of harbor and one instance of cargo harbor. And the only reason why that has suddenly become tricky is because you've got to reach a capital city, I think, capital city, which is a population of 28,000. Let me double check on that. I've got a long way to go for that, so that's why I'm going to move that right down the bottom of the list, just for now. It might get easier along the lines. I'm going to put that maybe down below the Plaza of the Dead. Next on the list, the Theater of Wonders. So this one is... It could be absolutely hard if I don't have the money and I'm waiting to build universities, but I think this is going to be kind of easy. So I'm going to put this right at the top of the list. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that right below the cathedral. I think that's how easy that one is. Next on the list is the MAM, or what I would say MAM. So I think this might be mid-tier because 50% population highly educated. So yeah, that's to do with the earlier one we was looking at. So yeah, definitely going to put that with the educational kind of landmarks. So I'm going to put that maybe just below the sports arena. I believe that'll fit in just about there. Next on the list is the Cathedral of Plenitude. I believe Cathedral of Plenitude. I don't know about this one. So construct city service buildings. I believe this is really easy. So I'm going to put this one, depending on if I got the money. And as you saw, all I got to do is spend about 10,000 for those medical centers or medical clinics. So I think this is easy. So all we got to do is pop that one. I'm going to pop it right here. I'm going to put up a little picture I've done on my iPad. The numbers represent where they were in the order of how they appeared on my list. As you can see here. So the first one on my list would have been the Chirpa X launch site is the first one on here. So that's a numbered 1 with blue, and the Plaza of the Dead would have been the first level 1 I've got to unlock. So there you go. That's why the cheat sheet looks like that. That's my battle plan. This is what I'm going to do, and I might tweak it later on, but it kind of looks like that for now. There you go. So you can see with my degrees of difficulty which one's going to be difficult, which one's mid-tier, and which ones are easy. So already looking at this layout, I can instantly see tweaks here and there depending on certain outcomes, like the MAM building, the Modern Art Museum. You know, I guess like I said before, scenarios where you have a percentage achieved with a lower population than it is with a higher population. In fact, with this building, you could unlock this with just a population of 2 people. That's all you need, a population of 2 people. As long as one has entered the educational path and the other has not gone through to college and all that, you know, that's your 50% achieved in no time at all. One person has gone to college and one person hasn't. So yeah, there you go. So that's kind of the instance where you can tweak the system. So there we go. So just to wrap things up, the state of play is 7 of 13 milestones have been reached. 4 of 19 landmarks have been reached. 10 of 30 uniques have been unlocked. That's the big one. So we've still got quite a ways to go. Monuments are only a fever dream, so let's wipe them from our memories until that time comes and we got the money. Oh, and there's one more important statistic. Cliffside Bay, the city of unlocks, the start date was 6/19/2024. And the current date is 10/13/2032. That's game years and days. So there you go, everybody. So hope you enjoyed that one. It was not really an episode. It was just a kind of a state of play, a kind of update on what we're going to be doing with this series. And hopefully I'll be able to be more fluid in my planning. I got my cheat sheet ready. So, you know, my little order of how to do things and when to do things, that kind of thing. So yeah, hopefully I'll catch you in the next episode where we get down to some serious building. But in the meantime, everybody, sincerely, take care of each other. Have a really nice day. And I will see y'all